Hey, what's up, team? Welcome in. I want to get back to this. Kadokawa company is trying to get Sony to buy it in its entirety, and I want to say a couple things. And I found an article here, so let's dig in there. FromSoftware parent company Kadokawa Corporation has reportedly been pushing Sony Group towards a purchase, according to a new report. We first saw speculations last week that Kadokawa set the stage for Sony acquisition to fend off a hostile takeover from foreign companies, including South Korea's Kakao Corp. A fresh report by Bloomberg partially backs up these claims. Bloomberg reports that both Kadokawa and Sony have been going back and forth for a number of years, with the former wanting Sony to make a full purchase, whereas the latter was only interested in strategic investments in anime and video game IP. Though Bloomberg's report mentions that Microsoft, Tencent, and Kakao have all expressed an interest in Kadokawa, it stopped short of confirming that Kadokawa wanted to fight off a foreign entity in favor of the local Sony group. Established in 1945, Kadokawa is an anime powerhouse with a library of over 100,000 novels and comics. The company previously dismissed suggestions of an acquisition, but with its founding members gone and it being publicly listed, Kadokawa doesn't seem interested in fighting off any offers going forward. Interestingly, Bloomberg claims that news of a potential acquisition pushed Kadokawa's market value up 4.1 billion, making a deal with Sony more difficult than it was just a week ago. Additionally, offers from other buyers are also a possibility, so what happens next remains to be seen. So I just want to talk about a couple other things. First off, I just want to let you guys know at this exact moment in time, Sony controls about a 14% stake in FromSoftware, and they have about less than a 2% in Kadokawa. And another thing I want to talk about is this Microsoft thing, because there are people in the community saying Microsoft is already in talks with FromSoftware. They're already in talks with Kadokawa. They're trying to acquire them. They're already going down that path. And other people are saying that's some misinformation. So I just want to say that I dug into that a little bit, and I could not find any information at all about Microsoft already being in talks with FromSoftware or Kadokawa about acquiring them. And in actuality, I found evidence to the contrary of that that's absolutely not true at all. There's nothing official. And so it seems like that is misinformation. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is there's going to be people that are going to say that this article is completely fake and is fabricated. It's not real at all. So to that, I would say, let's just look at the facts, what we do know for sure. So we do know that this South Korea Kakao Corp has been buying up stocks in Kadokawa Corporation. And if you guys know how stocks work, whoever has 50% plus one stocks has controlling interest in the company, and they get to make management decisions and so on. And so Kadokawa has been trying to sell itself entirely to Sony to avoid this hostile takeover by the South Korea Kakao Corp, because they don't want to be owned by South Korea. And in that same turn, I don't think that they want to be owned by Microsoft. They specifically went to Sony and said they want to be bought by a Japanese company. The last thing that I want to talk about is how the South Korea Kakao Corp, they do have video games that have microtransactions in it. And so I've seen people say they don't want From to be bought by these guys because they don't want Dark Souls 4 or Bloodborne 2 to have microtransactions. And to that, I would say, unfortunately, Sony also has games that have microtransactions. So we're just really in between a rock and a hard place here. It's kind of unfortunate. So I guess we're just going to have to keep an eye on this situation, see how it develops. Because they're in the middle of a deal at the moment, Kadokawa is not talking at all, and Sony is only talking a little bit. And so we might not even find out until they're all the way at the end or until this thing is done. But it seems like Kadokawa is really going for a hard push to sell itself to Sony to avoid this hostile takeover. So if I see anything else, I'll let you guys know. Take it easy. I love you. I'll see you next time.